How do you feel about your Cowboys right now?
As you know, I have been a Dallas Cowboy fan since 1961. I live and die with this football team and have since I was 10 years old. Yesterday, for me, was simply the most humiliating and embarrassing football game featuring my Dallas Cowboys I have ever had to sit through, ever.
Worse than Monday night?
Worse than Monday night, because I remind you, this used to be our arch rival within the division.
Correct.
This was at Washington. This is the game you live and die for every year if you play for the Dallas Cowboys. And I remind you, 1960, they were an expansion team, so that didn't count. In 1989, when Jerry and Jimmy took over, they were basically an expansion team, so that doesn't count. This counted because this defense yesterday featured six players who have made Pro Bowls before, some of them multiple times. This offense yesterday featured 3 Pro Bowlers and 3 receivers, potentially who could go over 1,000 yards receiving. And what I saw against what used to be our arch rival at Washington was a team that came out heartless and gutless and did not even attempt to compete from the opening kickoff to the bitter end. I saw a team that has quit on, as I feared after the Monday night game, has quit on the head coach and on the defensive coordinator.
Already?
Yes, sir. This team is done. This team will lose at Philadelphia 40-3 because it has quit for the season. I'm not just talking about quitting for a game. It has quit for the season. And yesterday, mid-game, I tweeted this because it occurred to me, I'm shocked that Jerry hasn't done anything about it yet except to defend both the head coach and the new coordinator.
What can he do?
I'm now convinced that he is secretly hoping that they lose out and he wins the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. And I'm not kidding about that. He is just enough of a shrewd operator. He can be dumb but not stupid.
Right.
Where I think he might sit back and say, we're just rebuilding anyway. I give up this year. Let's play for Trevor Lawrence. Although I'm still not sure Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in college, because Justin Fields, every time I watch him, I say, wait a second, time out. But for Jerry, he would be probably playing for Trevor Lawrence. And
Gives the BYU look good, too.
Well, he does. But the point is, in Jerry's mind, because he's not that big a college football fan, I want Trevor Lawrence. He's 6'5". He looks the part.
He knows the name.
Yeah, he knows the name. And he could say, then I don't have a Dak problem anymore. We could just cut bait with Dak, and we could go forward with Trevor Lawrence.
Little does he know, Dak price is going up, and Dak's not even playing.
That is correct. So I want everybody to let this sink in, that yesterday they were playing a team that was ranked dead last in rushing yards.
Yeah.
Dead last in rushing yards were the former Washington, you know what they used to be, the Washington football team. And I want everybody to understand that a kid named Antonio Gibson had a career-high rushing yards of 82 for a game, and that in the first half yesterday, he had 94 on 11 carries. And if we could see his carry that went 12 yards for a touchdown that made it 9-0, it is so bad that nobody tries to tackle him. That's just heartless, gutless. We have quit.
You can run straight ahead.
We are done. We are done. Antonio Gibson, they turned him into Jim Brown.
I thought he was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, well, there you go. At his best, at his greatest.
That's awful, Skip.
It was just awful. And for me, I knew it right out of the box because the Redskins took the opening kickoff and moved all the way down the field until my defense actually made one play on a quarterback sneak by Kyle Allen from the 1-yard line on 4th down. They stuffed him. And I thought, oh, well, a sign of life. But then what happened, 3 plays later, Andy Dalton, who was running for his life the whole game because obviously the whole offensive line is backups except for the one weakest link. There you go. And he's running for his life to his right, and you have to protect the football because you know you're going to be running for your life, and you get blindside stripped, and the ball goes straight back into the end zone, and Dalton Schultz has to fall on it for a safety. And that was game over right then and there because this team is running away with the turnover differential on the negative.
Yeah.
It is horrendously bad. It's running away with the most turnovers given up in football, and it never takes the ball away. So it is a disaster waiting to happen. And actually, I guess I should find some solace in the fact that they only gave up 25 yesterday, but the Redskins were averaging 18 points a game, and they scored 25 on the Dallas Cowboys.
That was the easiest looking 25 that you'll see.
So it's going to be very difficult for me to even watch the game at Philadelphia because the Eagles will just have their way with the team that is done for the season, not done for the week or the day, done for the season. And now I'm fascinated to see how Jerry Jones is going to talk his way out of this one.
Skip, you guys got y'all sorry butt on a plane and went way to D.C. to kick a field goal. You telling me that's what y'all did? The Dallas Cowboys are America's team. Everybody loves to watch them, and we won 5 Super Bowls. That's what y'all did, Skip.
And remember, my man CeeDee Lamb and my man Michael Gallup caught exactly 0.
They had the same amount of catches that you and I had.
That is correct.
And we were on our couch watching them sorry raps.
Correct.
Skip, let me ask you this. What does your team, what do you do really well? Offense, defense, special teams, what do you do well? Nothing. Your offense can't protect, you can't run, you don't do anything. Defensively, you're terrible. Even now, you got my guy, Jon Bostic. You got to make it seem like he don't even know special team, because you don't even really do that well.
Agreed.
Skip, this is the 6th straight game in which you've trailed by at least 14 points. We blame Jason Garrett.
By the way, to your point, it's 7 straight games in which we have failed to lead early. We've given up the lead early. It was 7-0 to the Rams. And then the last 6 games, we have fallen woefully, hopelessly
by
behind.
At least 14.
Yeah, correct.
Skip, we blame Jason Garrett. It was 8-8. He couldn't get them motivated. He couldn't get them ready to play. That's an indictment on the head coach. We blame Chris Richard because we say the defense was too simplistic. They just line up in it, and everybody, Rod Marinelli, well, he doesn't have Sapp, and he doesn't have Simeon Rice and Brooksy, and the defense won't work. So we blame them. So you know what Jerry says? You know what? I hear you, fans. I hear y'all. I hear all the analysts saying Jason Garrett got to go. I'm going to go get a made man, Mike McCarthy. You do all you do, because they had him over at his house. Remember, they had him at his house. And Jerry Jones Jr. said, Dad, what are you waiting on? You already wrote this, man. What are you waiting on? We don't need to interview anybody else. We don't need to. We got our guy. That's the guy we wanted. We identified him. We got him. Skip, you keep telling me you Cowboys got these Pro Bowlers. Don Terry Poe, it's 2020 now. Don Terry Poe last made the Pro Bowl in 2014. Everson Griffin made the Pro Bowl last year, but somehow he was still available in August. Alden Smith last made the Pro Bowl in 2012. It is now, remember, he was out of the league for 5 years. Jalen Smith and D-Law. Now, you tell me, Skip, since D-Law got that money, he's played anything close to what he did the previous 2 years before he got that money.
I see little blips and flashes, but that's all. Nothing consistent.
Okay, what about Jalen Smith?
Nope. I see him often out of position. I see him getting beaten. I saw him yesterday trying to cover Logan Thomas, the tight end, and he just face guards him and then walks away clapping like, I did it. I did it. No, you drew a flag.
You do realize Logan Thomas was a quarterback, Skip.
Yeah, he
was the quarterback at Virginia Tech. They moved him to tight end. But, Skip, I got a couple of, look at this. Jalen, on the play like this here, you just got to get him down. It's not about trying to break the ball up. Because you're already late. Now just get him on the ground. You have to understand, you're ISO, you're by yourself. That's it. If you miss this tackle, Skip, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
He's going to walk into the end zone. Skip, this was embarrassing. You showed the play on the touchdown run by Gibson. Skip, we can make this all about Mike Nolan all we want to. But, Skip, how do you not have somebody in the A gap? And then he's like, okay, I can run straight ahead, or if I really wanted to, I can hit a hard right and go to the B gap. Skip, look at this. Nobody touches him. Look at this. He can go 1, 2. He can go anywhere he wants to. Look how much grass that is. What is this? Come on, Cowboys. Now, y'all make it about, this scheme ain't nobody teaching. It's hard for me to see a scenario, Skip, where a guy says, look, I don't want the A gap covered, but we're going to cover the B and the C gaps. Skip, this is pathetic. This is embarrassing. And let me tell you how embarrassing it got. They knocked your quarterback helmet off, and everybody looking around like, ain't nobody shove, nobody skip, ain't nobody do nothing. Let somebody do that to any other quarterback. A lineman gonna get tall, Skip. You got to go shove somebody. You got to say, this is unacceptable. They're looking around. Talking about, well, we didn't want to get tossed because it was. What you mean? You had already gotten tossed. You had already stopped playing. So what? You might as well just go in and call and get your shower at least. You can be out the way. You don't have to share the shower with the soap with anybody. You could have been unshowered and dressed by the time they get into the locker room. You can't let somebody hit your quarterback like that and you don't do absolutely nothing. Skip, it's pathetic.
Okay, this is the only point of contention I have with everything you just said. The only reason, this is the one play on which I will not criticize my Cowboys yesterday, because Mike McCarthy used this after the game to draw attention away from the debacle, the disaster that was this whole game. And he's saying, he's trying to criticize the team. We got to fight back. We got to have our quarterbacks back. Okay, let's analyze what just happened on this play. First of all, you have to understand that 4 Pro Bowl starters are gone. So remember, Ty Smith and the center Travis Frederick and Zach Martin and Lyle Collins are all gone. So you have backups at every spot. You have Cam Irving, who has not even been with the team, was with Kansas City, started 8 games for the Chiefs last year. He had his first start because he has been ill or hurt the whole year. So he doesn't even know this team very well. So he's at left tackle. And then you have 2 rookies. You have a rookie at center and a rookie at right tackle. And you have the weakest link from the from the offensive line last year, Connor Williams. And then you have Connor McGovern, who's starting only his 2nd game as a 2nd-year player at right guard. Okay, they're lost. They don't know who they are. They're just trying to survive because they are getting their helmets handed to them by the Redskins. So Andy Dalton takes such a shot that it looks like he is seriously hurt. It looks like he's going to be knocked out because his helmet flies off.
Yes.
And if you could see in the video, the truth is 3 of the young linemen go to see if he's okay. That's the first order, but you see all 4 of them. Everybody's going to see, are you okay? Well, the refs jump in and immediately eject Bostic.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you can go fight Bostic when they have thrown him out of the game.
No, you just go shove him in the back.
Okay, I got it. But you don't even know each other, and you have a new quarterback in Andy Dalton. This is the least of my problems, that you don't go try to fight the Redskins, because remember, you have no backups behind the backups.
No, Skip, I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to go shove him in his back. I don't need, look, if you got on my uniform, I don't need to know you to the umpteenth. We don't need to have broken bread, going to a movie. I know your wife, you know my kids. I don't need to know any of that. All I need to know, you're on my team. If somebody took a cheap shot on you, so I got to take a cheap shot on them.
Okay, obviously, under any other circumstance, I'm 1,000% with you, except under this circumstance, it happens in the 3rd quarter when it's clear the whole team has already quit. So it's hard for me to criticize an incident when the whole team has just waved the flag. You know, like, we're done. We're out. So they all know that there's no reason to fight back because they're not fighting back on the field at all.
Well, Skip, now you're going to have people just taking shots at your quarterback and you knowing you're not going to do anything about it.
They're done. They're done for the year, and it was already done at halftime. They were woefully, they were out of the game at halftime.
Right.
So my point is, under any other circumstance with any other good team, yeah, everybody wants to fight. The receivers want to fight. The tight end wants to fight. They would all have Andy Dalton's back. But in this case, they're all lost already. They're going up to see, are you okay? Because it looks like he's going to go out on a stretcher.
Skip, think about this. Look at Tampa and Chicago. Now, the guy does something cheap to one of the receivers. The center runs way down the field and headbutts the guy.
He did?
Now, because he did something. Can you imagine what they would have done if Tom Brady going into a slide and somebody jumps on him, or any quarterback?
But usually when the quarterback gets cheap shotted, he's jumping up angry himself because he's okay.
No, he ain't jumping up from that one.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Your first order of business is, are you going to make it?
Yeah.
Because your helmet gets knocked off and you hit your head on the turf so hard, it looks like you're out cold. So all 5 linemen are going to him, are you okay? And by the time they gather their senses, and they're all new to this, Bostic has been told to leave the field immediately by the referee. You're out.
You got to hit him in the back. One of them linemen coming around, like he's standing around the pile. You got to get him.
Yep.
But, Skip, and plus, you look at Zeke. Skip, how many times have I told you, Skip, the hardest thing really to do is block from the backfield. Now, I've been telling Zeke, I said, Zeke, you better shorten that distance because that guy's coming with bad intentions. And if you just sit there, he's going to sit you on your butt. Now, you watch what Zeke did, and McKissick had a very similar play. He had Jalen Smith blitzing. He steps up, takes on Jalen Smith.
He did.
Kyle Allen steps out the backside.
He did.
Now, look at Zeke. Zeke, now I told you, you better close that distance. Zeke, don't stand flat-footed. Go meet him. You don't meet him, he meets your quarterback. Look at McKissick. Look at when he steps up to Jalen Smith, Skip.
No, he did.
That's the difference. It's not that complicated. I don't know what y'all watching or what you're teaching. But it's hard blocking from the backfield. Take it from a guy early in my career, Skip. Dan Reeves had me blocking from the backfield. And Skip, guys would run me over in practice, and he see I'm getting frustrated. I was like, Coach, how you expect me to block that guy weigh 250, I'm 210? He said, Shannon, shorten the distance, give him a one-way go. You see him coming in the A-gap, go meet him.
Okay. Yeah, I told you on Friday that the Redskins, I keep calling the Redskins, I can't help myself because I grew up with this. The football team will blitz my team. And you said, no, they don't need to blitz because they got that front door. Well, guess what happened on the first strip sack? Landon Collins comes flying from the backside, and Andy Dalton does not see him until it's too late. And the ball is loose, and it goes in the end zone for a safety.
Skip, you and I,
so they did blitz.
We and I both forgot, though. I forgot that Jack Del Rio was the DC.
See, that's...
Jack,
I got it.
When you got to think about it, they littered with first rounder. Everybody on the defensive line is a first rounder. They got Payne, they got Allen, they got Young, they got Kerrigan, got that Sweat. All them are first rounders.
And yet, guess who the star of the show was yesterday? We turned somebody named Cole Holcomb, the linebacker, into Lawrence Taylor.
Yes.
He was everywhere yesterday, right?
It's good luck. Because what's the strength of the Eagles' defense, Skip? Defensive line.
You got that right.
Good luck with Fletcher Cox and Graham and those guys.
They're going to eat all day.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.